Good evening, everybody. This is Political Hot Seat, and it's Thursday night. And tonight, we had quite the excitement through the week, and we do have a candidate here for District 5, and it is the commissioner from District 5 who, for some reason, wants to run again, which nobody understands. But anyway, Vern has been quite a week. Every place I go, I see Channel 3, Channel 8, Channel 5. You know, they're everywhere. And so anyway, what's been going on in your week besides everybody complaining?
I absolutely love this time of the year. I really do. You know, it only comes around every 2 years, but political season is just like fascinated. Everybody's on pins and needles. Everybody's hanging on every word that you say. It's amazing the emotions that are involved during this time period. And, you know, rightfully so. We're all putting out, you know, we all want to be the next whatever, and we're all trying to knock down the other guy. And, you know, it's just America at its finest. But, you know, with that said, I just want to let everybody know at home, we do want to make sure that you understand that anytime, you know, and David Berkowitz, if you'd like to come on the air anytime you wish. I mean, Tony, if you can please allow him to come on. I'd love to have him come on. I think it'd be a great program to listen to David. He's more than welcome. We did try to contact him for the show last week, and Deanna had expressed to me that he's no longer allowed to talk to the media, and that has to be by the upper level management. And we did make several attempts to contact Mr. Stephen Lee, and after the reports, after the show, he finally approached us and came on. So we're happy to see that he did. But you know, as far as Mr. Champion goes, Dave Champion, if he puts something on his Facebook and he's out there, that's his opinion. That's his Facebook, his place. That's where he does that. As far as here at KPVM, he's working within the guidelines of KPVM in talking about subject matters. He's an independent individual, so you know, if he crosses that line, then I'll ask him as a to leave. He doesn't need to be a part of our community and our station if that's the case. But there's a lot of bantering going back and forth between what people think they say and what people say, and so it's you know, this whole thing's a big emotional stress ball. That's what it is. It's a stress ball, and we're seeing a lot of that. And that's why, you know, and part of the reason last week why we didn't take calls on the show was specifically because we didn't want the public to come into the show because it would have created more problems. We wanted Beryl Garlow to commentate the questions that we acquired from 4 different legal entities who are out there in our community. We acquired 21 questions, and Dave, being a legal researcher, we asked him if he would be kind enough to come onto the show and ask him the questions about why these things take place within the policies. He agreed to. I was hoping to see, my dream show was I would have Bill, you there, I would have Dave Champion there, and I would have Stephen Lee and David Berkowitz. But to my surprise, that didn't happen. But hey, that show is still available. So let's get it on. Let's get it on. That'll be a fun show. But I don't think it's going to, because there's too many different problems. After the press conference today, there was a lot of conversation about Vern and about who. You know, Vern this and Vern that, and Vern's being biased, Vern's being this. It's like, I mean, how much more can I do? I mean, I've invited them to come up. If they don't come up, I can't do anything more about that. And you're not seeing Vern write anything specifically about anything on Facebook, and you're not seeing anything about Vern on TV. So it's all open policy. As far as the Facebook page goes, I moved everybody over to the Political Hot Seat page because I was getting so many people saying, I mean, every other post was, I hate this person, I hate this person, I hate this person, or somebody trying to politically put their opinions out there. And I said, you know what, this is exactly why we created Political Hot Seat. It's on the Political Hot Seat Prump is on the actual what's the name of the page, local Pahrump page, so it's attachment to that. Go in there, post your comments, do your stuff. We're just trying to keep them off of the main page so that it's a little cleaner and we don't have a lot of political stuff where people aren't interested. I mean, there's only literally probably 100 people that are interested in the political stuff anyways. The other 5,000 people are more interested in, they want to see a shopping center come into Pahrump, or they want to see a movie theater come into Pahrump. So that's kind of the whole thing there. But there's a lot more to come on all this stuff. I mean, it's going to be pretty interesting. But tonight's show is not about that. Tonight's show, we're going to talk about really economic development, and we're going to talk about the commission, and we're going to talk about what this county is facing and why commissioners are important and who's going to be our next commissioner for this district. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to you, and you can go ahead and introduce our guest.
All right, we are here with Commissioner Dan Schinhofen of the 5th District. And my big question is, why do you want to do this?
Why do I want to do this?
It's a hard question. I mean,
Yeah, I write a column called The Ramblings of a Madman, but that's a joke. I'm not really insane, although some of my opponents have tried to run that angle. Didn't work. Because I've started a lot of good things, As a commissioner, I said this once and I got twisted, but I'm going to try it again. We don't accomplish anything ourselves. You have to be able to get at least 2 other commissioners to agree with what it is that you're trying to get done. And I've started some flood projects that the board approved the flood plan, 5 years ago, but no funding for it because it's a $350 million plan. So I started working on that. We got Mountain Falls. Pine had passed theirs, they didn't. So White Pine is going to be putting it on their agenda soon, and we're going to soon have 9 counties, which is a majority out of 17, that will join us in saying we deserve the truth, we deserve to hear the science behind Yucca Mountain before we say yes or no. And so with all those things, and the biggest reason I want to run again is my 4 grandkids were born here, my 3 kids are homeowners here. So I would like to see us, move forward in a manner that doesn't destroy the small town feel, but allows for growth and for prosperity for businesses.
all right. Well, I've known you for quite a period of time now, and you work towards helping the community. We need jobs. We need, what jobs, for instance? You say your grandchildren, they grow up, they graduate from high school, they go to college.
Right.
Guess what? They don't come back because there's nothing to come back to.
Well, that's what we're hoping for. I believe, the science needs to be heard, but of course, from what I've seen and what I've studied, I think Yucca Mountain would be a huge benefit. There were 2,500 jobs lost in southern Nevada when Harry Reid and Barack Obama cut the funding in 2010 to Yucca Mountain. Yucca Mountain would be a huge source of scientific research, it could be, and Mark Amadei came on board and said so. He would support it if it was a research facility. We have, people are waving off camera, that's why I'm turning my head. I told you I'm tired today. I start saying things that just come into my head. The detention facility is a good place for people to get training in that industry if you want to do that. The raceway is expanding, and I think there's 62 more jobs. They have 108, and they want to bring in 62 more jobs. So we're not really going to ever be an industrial base, but those businesses that do want to come here, I welcome them. If it's a legal business and you want to invest in this county, come talk to me. What can I do to help you? That's my whole attitude.
Well, I have an announcement here. This is a live show tonight. It is a live call-in show at 727-8750. Please keep the questions for the commissioner. I don't want to hear about last week anymore. I've heard about it all week. So anyway, the number is 727-8750. You could call in live and ask Mr. Schinhofen anything about him being the commissioner for the last 110 years. No.
3.5.
Oh,
Three and a
okay.
half.
So
One
anyway,
more term, maybe.
One more term.
And then we'll see if there's any more after that.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. They all say one more term, but then they're back for the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th.
Yeah.
But whatever. Well, you can't go that many.
No, you can only
out.
go 3, yeah.
Okay, so that's economic development. What about all this about bringing in, people want street lights, sidewalks, and all that. That's not why I moved here.
Yep.
If I wanted that, I'd
Yep.
stayed in Vegas or San Diego, but
Yeah,
I
I
moved
get
here
that.
to get away from that. But and I know your district is split up probably 60-40 in favor of things like
Well,
that.
I think there's room for both of those. I mean, we have Mountain Falls. We have Artesia. Artesia, when that was designed, didn't have sidewalks and curbs and all
Right.
that. And that's a nice design. That works. Mountain Falls works. And then where you live and I live, where we have 1 acre and we're further down at the end of town, we can have all of that. You don't have to have street lights and sidewalks throughout the whole town.